everyone to the double header of life's milkshake moments. Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Life's Milkshake Moment with health coach Jody.
Well, I just love that we can do this. I am so excited and I'm so humbled and honored to have this life's milkshake moment. This was a vision. Who knew that this girl from small town Montana, they're only small towns, with a vision and a hope of having life and life changing, because it started with my mother, who was diagnosed with pancreatic and liver cancer. I didn't know that I was going to go into the healthcare field of healing and hope. How did that happen? Because she was diagnosed with pancreatic and liver cancer. I was a young 26-year-old mother with two in diapers. I became relentless. I became just absolutely consumed to find anything, something that would elongate my mother's 6 weeks to live diagnosis. And when I went back to Montana from Atlanta, I found healing practices that carried her well beyond her 6 weeks to live diagnosis. I carried her to the end game, that when she was at the end of her life in 3 years, she said, Jody, you take what you've learned with me and take it to the world. Now at 67, I didn't know that Clubhouse, this wonderful platform of social interconnection, because connections and relationships in this COVID era are a new collateral. And what I know is this wonderful platform of the incomparable Les Brown would bring the rest of us together. And that's what we have here. And I have some of our health changers that will be with me. Yes. And you will see their IG handles coming up here online. These wonderful healers are going to be part of what I talked about at noon with Dr. Yasmin. Dr. Yasmin just reached out to me. I'm going, I am humbled. I started reading her resume. I'm going, okay. She was the real deal. And she said, Jody, I love your energy. I want to do something with her. And I have thought of, it's law of attraction. I have thought of a week before. I thought, we need to bring some of these people back together to create hope and healing, because hope stands for to heal, to go down into yourself, opportunity to go up to your true north, positivity to live and be the law of attraction, and then go out in empowerment. And this group of healers mean and embody all of this. And our first guest here today is none other than Marcy Cody. My goodness gracious. I met Marcy through the incomparable Les Brown. We will be speaking on stage with him on Saturday. I've got to give just a lead in for this. If you are here anywhere within flying, boating, hitchhiking, car, train, automobile, whatever, come meet us at the Rock Church in Queens. Seating is limited. There are a few seats left. But Marcy, you're going to be gracing the stage. We're going to be with the incomparable Les Brown, 10 to 7. It will be an event like none other. I can't wait to meet you. But thank you for agreeing to be one of these health changers for our event on the 28th of August. Marcy, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moment, because you know, life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. So my dear, tell us what and your story. Tell us that, and then what made you called into the healing arts, Marcy?
Well, Jody, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I just can't wait to meet you in New York. So, oh my goodness. What started? Well, I'm a registered nurse, been a registered nurse for almost 30 years. And my husband received a diagnosis the year we were married, 1999. And of course, he says the big C is Christ. So he's been stage 4 for almost 10 years, no pain. If you ask him how he's doing, he'll tell you, I'm doing great for the rest of my life. But anyway, what that did for me was it made me realize that medicine is really not meant to cure anything. They just want to like treat you. They don't want you to actually be healed. So I started looking into things that would actually maybe heal, or at least like you were talking about, prolong life, or at least the quality of life. And so I started researching, and that's what I've been doing for the last 20 something years, is just looking into that. Just released a book, 90 Ways to Age Vibrantly, in January. Yeah, and it's like 90 things that you can do, and from all over the world, in order to age vibrantly. So I'm excited about that. So that's what I did. I just
and I want your tagline in there. It said you can either die young or
either you die young or you get old by default. I mean, just keep waking up every morning, and one day you're going to be 70, one day you're going to be 90, and you're going to say, what happened? What was I thinking? Why did I eat all that stuff? Why did I, didn't save any money? It's so, yeah. Unless you die young, you will get old. I mean, it's just inevitable. So that's just by default. But what you need to do is have a strategic plan for your aging, because unless, like Ben Franklin said, he's old too soon and wise too late. So unless you plan, you're planning to fail. So, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I love your spirit. It is as red hot as that red hot hair of yours and those lips. I can see you in that red dress with Les Brown. Always do the red thing. It's going to be amazing. So now let's talk about Health Changers on the 28th. On the 28th, what is your intent with your message?
My intent is to show people how they can create life-sustaining habits, because it's really not about willpower and all that stuff, discipline. It's really about habits. So if you have a habit of walking 5 miles every day, that'll carry you on, but if you have a habit of eating fast food every day, that whatever your habit is, because you are what you repeatedly do, what you repeatedly think about, what you repeatedly say. So what my goal is to teach people to create self-sustaining habits that their future self will be grateful for.
Beautiful. And I feel you. I feel your heart. I feel your soul. I feel your red lipstick. I tell you, we will see you in New York. Absolutely. In less than 7, we're going to be together in 72 hours, Miss Marcy. So just give our audience one of your favorite health quotes. Would you, to end your segment, please?
Well, it's got to be from Les Brown. He says, in order to be successful, you have to be willing to do the things today that others won't do, so you can have the things tomorrow that others won't have.
And you're going to need to have, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Marcy Cody's wisdom, her life skills, and what she can offer. So see you in New York, and can't wait for the 28th. Much love.
Love you. Thanks for that.
Absolutely. Just like I hang up on phones, I heard you, Marcy. I say, thanks for the opportunity. I got you. I feel you. And, Miss Raquel, I tell you, Raquel McDermott is one of these people. When I first just heard her, like for less than 30 seconds, it was probably 3 seconds on Clubhouse, I said, I love me some of my Raquel. And we have just been it feels like we've known each other forever. So when we were putting this whole health changes together, I said, oh, Raquel has got to be with me again. You were part of our hope seminar when we did our summit with Les Brown and John Leslie Brown, and you gave people such gooey nuggets of your life changing way of how you are such a wonderful life coach. Raquel, thank you, especially for what's going on, that you just showed up, because when you show up, you go up. So tell our listening audience just a little bit about you and just your story and how you found the healing arts.
I will. And for context, for those that don't know, my oldest daughter, my 24-year-old daughter, was in a significant motorized skateboard accident this last week with skull fractures and jaw fractures. And ironically, when she was checked in, one of the nurses looked at me and he said, "Oh, you must be the trauma mama." And I said, "Oh, let's not let that be my tagline now." So one of, even though I specialize in trauma, what I really specialize in is confidence, happiness, self-love, and communication. Because when we are healed and on that healing journey from healing our trauma, and it doesn't have to be this big significant trauma of, being abandoned as a toddler, or, in all the big T traumas we think of. Trauma can be those little T things, and it's a spectrum. And so when I have people that talk to me and they say, "Oh, I don't have any trauma," I'm like, well, we all have some. Whether it was being bullied on the playground as a kid, or, your mom was gone for too long and you thought she had left you, that stuff kind of stays in it stays in your body. And so we work through that. What brought me, thank you, what brought me to the healing arts was, I'm 50, and when I was 19, it was placed on my heart that I needed to be a life coach. Well, that was 1990. Google wasn't really around. Facebook wasn't around. I didn't know what a life coach was. But as the years went on, it wouldn't go away. And as I've been coaching for the past 4 years and doing my own work since 2014, so I can heal, so I can go deep with my clients, I've realized that I don't have to be perfect to coach other people, because that was my myth. Oh, I've got to have all my stuff together. I've got to be totally perfect to help people. And that was a lie. That little inner critic just gnawing away. And then I discovered, in reflection, looking back, I've been coaching since I was a teenager. I was the teenager that didn't like gossip, didn't like bullying, and people would come and talk to me because I have always been a safe space. And I love now that I have friends of my kids that reach out to me that are in their, early to mid 20s and beyond. So all ages. I even had a 15-year-old approach me the other day. And I love that I get to be that safe space, regardless of how they identify for themselves. I wanted to share something, though, that one of my clients who is in her 20s said that she's gotten from working with me for the past 6 months. You are not your thoughts. Your feelings matter. Everyone comes from different walks of life, causing perspectives and experiences to be different. Trauma is not a competition. So you are not responsible for other people's happiness. I share that because one of my other favorite things to coach on is boundaries, because I grew up in a home where boundaries were rude, and they're not. They're actually a way of self-love. So under that umbrella of self-love is boundaries. You are not the bad things that happen to you. We cannot always control what happens to us. Trauma is real and hard. It is our job to take our lives, into our own hands, to heal our trauma, to be our best selves. People aren't mind readers. I know, imagine that. Yeah, your partner isn't a mind reader. You're not a mind reader. Communication is vital, and boundaries aren't the same as conditions. You can love someone and have healthy boundaries in place. She's also discovered what trauma bonds are, and there's a reason why we attract the same partner or the same friends over and over if we haven't done our healing. because our nervous system is so used to that uncomfortableness. So when we get around someone healthy and safe, if we haven't done our healing energetically in our nervous system, get scared. What is this? What is this kindness? What is this unconditional love? And so part of the health journey is we're not just these bodies, it's mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. It's all the things.
Beautiful.
And to discover that it's okay to change and grow. It doesn't mean that you're broken. We're not broken. We're whole, perfect, and complete. And if things just aren't working for us how we want them to, maybe it's time to do some work. And we're worth it.
Oh, and you are, what you're going to offer on the 28th is going to be so worth it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, let's face it, trauma and what we've been through globally in the last 18 months.
Exactly.
We need this. So, Raquel, just give one of your, you can even turn around and read one of your quotes. Just give us one of these nuggets, one of your great quotes that you're so apt to do. What would be that quote that you'd leave with our audience, please?
Well, I have my art behind me that means a lot to me. But one of my favorite things to say is, if people can hate for no reason, I can love for no reason. And I believe that's attributed to Martin Luther King. Don't quote me, I'm going off memory here. Been a little preoccupied this past week.
Sure.
But I also believe that we can be, and one of my other things that I have in front of me that a friend bought for me, she saw it, she said, I've got to get this for you. It says, be a nice human. Because that's really what it's about. You don't need to be right. I don't need to be right. You don't need to be wrong. I don't need to be wrong. But we can just be kind to one another. And what would the world look like if we just were kind?
Just kind, because I feel you, as I always do. I feel your heart. Raquel, you're going to add such nuggets. It just gooey ooey. I remember I said that to you when I first met you, and it continues to this day. Thank you for joining us for this moment, taking away from your daughter, but just giving us that milkshake moment that you can turn it around and choose your ingredients wisely.
Yes,
much
with
love.
Ooey gooey caramel sauce. That was our
thing. There we go. There we go.
All right. Thank you.
See you soon. Oh, my goodness gracious. And the next is, now that was a quickie. Monika, I think you're on, so unmute your line, please, if you will. I think you're muted. Yes. Number one, I want to know how you went from yoga girl to glamour girl in like 7 minutes. Maybe she's going to share that with the women on the podcast. I mean, holy heck. But when you're this beautiful, Monika, when I listed you by mistake on our flyer, Dr. Monika Zands, because she just seems like she is a doctor. She's the doctor of psychology. She's the doctor of a lot of things. The first time, Monika, when I heard you speak so soulfully on Les Brown, I was just sitting here. I take notes, and I was like this, and all of a sudden my pen was up like this. That's how I listen to you. Mm. So I just want to just give you that gift. That was my first impression of you, my dear. And I just am so looking forward to hearing a little bit of your story and what drew you to these healing arts. So welcome to our Life's Milkshake moment.
Thank you. So it's been such a pleasure getting to know you. And I also take notes every time you're talking on Les Brown, how you share, what you share. There's a certain tenacity that is Jody, that you go after life with. And I just feel very blessed that you invited me to be part of this. And hopefully your audience gets what they're seeking. And hopefully they also get some yummy, juicy nuggets that they weren't expecting to get. So I just want to share a little bit about my background. So I have been a life coach for a good part of the last 20 years. And my coaching spans both life coaching is where it started, but it expanded into both business and relationship coaching. And in 2016, my husband and I joined forces and actually have created financial freedom, like the Rich Relationship Program, where we work with couples on how to heal their money story and how to heal their money situation. And my passion is, and my mission on the planet is to eradicate self-inflicted suffering so that people may live a loving life.
Mm.
And I have a master's in spiritual psychology, and that's really where the root of my healing began. So I understand why you may have thought I was a doctor, because I do talk a lot about my master's program, and I have studied more than enough hours and spent many, many, many eons supporting and helping people really heal from the inside out.
Well, and I'll tell you that I always say that I never took time to write the PhD. I've been too busy helping people. That's probably because you've got a life PhD. So what? I mean, you've got so much. You've got the healing financial, couples, healing from the inside out, this, that, and the other. So what is your intent so we can come in and just get that moment with Monika on the Health Changers? Would love to hear just a preview of this. And by the way, if you want to know, ladies and gentlemen, is this a trailer of coming attractions? I unabashedly am saying yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So I'm going to be talking on the area of mental health. And one of the things that's really important is that we are divine beings having and using a human experience. And so what that means is we have this experience sometimes that we're humans out in the world with a soul. But actually, the way we look at it through our Masters of Spiritual Psychology is that we are actually divine beings, and that through our humanity, we are learning life's lessons. So just like Raquel said before me, we have moments in our life where there are traumas. We have moments in our life there is wounding. And sometimes it may not register for us until many years later, where a pattern was born when we were young, and then we keep playing out that pattern. So when we speak on the 28th, part of what I'm going to share about is in 2002, I was hit by a truck in a crosswalk, and I survived that accident. And through that healing process, I began to realize that the direction and destination of my life was going to dramatically change, because what I thought I was here for changed. And so I'm going to share a lot about how when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade out of it. And how do you really see things as an opportunity for growth, as an opportunity for healing, as an opportunity for self-reflection and self-love. And one of the tools that we'll talk about on the 28th is compassionate self-forgiveness. We're excellent at forgiving others, excellent. We say, I'm sorry to people. We say, excuse me, and apologize out in the world. But the last person we tend to say I'm sorry to is our own selves. Mm. And that's really when we know that we are worthy of being forgiven, then our ability to have compassion, love, and kindness out into the world is exponentially able to grow.
Yes, it begins with me. It goes to you. Lemons, lemonade. That was a milkshake moment. And by golly, just so much. So Monika, just share your favorite quote. And if it's a Les Brown quote, I'll be A-okay with that. Would love to hear your favorite quote that comes to mind, please.
I got a quote from Mr. John Leslie, and it says, stretch yourself. You cannot fit a big dream into a small life.
Oh. And you stretched yourself to go from this to that to the other. And by golly, you are all of that. And I will see you in New York. I can't wait. Yes. My goodness gracious. Much love. Much safe travels. You are magical, Monika, for
See
sure.
you Friday. Thank you, my love. Bye.
And speaking of which, I said to Yasmin earlier on today when we did our time, and yes, Dion Davis, you are on. And we got to get you unmuted. You were doing something. This is Dion going on. But I'll tell you, Dion Davis, this is what I know. I said to Yasmin, I feel like we've assembled this plane with these amazing practitioners. And this is what I know. We're going to get a propeller and take off. But Dion Davis, every time you talk, spiritual healer, masters of divinity, you've been my guest on our Life's Milkshake moment, and you do need to unmute yourself at your end. I cannot hear you. I'm going to unmute your mic. I think you've got to do it on your side, Dion. I can't hear you. No, you've got to unmute your mic on your side. Okay, you have chosen to mute yourself. So go ahead and when you came in, you chose to mute yourself. Oh, darn. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Go out and come back in. And I'll get you. Go out and come back in. Make sure you unmute yourself. But in the meantime, this gives me a great opportunity. When Dr. Yasmin and I came together, and these are our 4 event intentions. And this is for you people that are seekers out there, to ignite the healer within you. You've heard that from Raquel. You've heard it from Monika, to decode your body's messages. Because oftentimes things happen to you so you can have that milkshake moment and respond and transform that pain into passion and purpose. Isn't that what hope really is? Because opportunity is always for the seeker, and positivity will get you where you want to go. And then empower yourself to heal yourself. And in turn, you heal the world. And now I am so excited to say, Dion has got it going on. I don't know what you do and where you at, but give us what you got. Your story, Dion. I want to hear from you. I hope you're unmuted.
Wow. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Listen, I apologize for the sound and for the background. I'm actually in a warehouse unloading food for homeless individuals. Unloading food, because on tomorrow they will be giving this food out to hundreds of individuals that do not have any food. And so I'm here on this Wednesday giving, serving, not of my own, but being able to be a blessing to somebody else. But listen, I'm Danielle Davis, and it's just an honor to be here with Jody, the #1 health coach in the United States and even abroad. Listen, it's just an honor and a privilege to be here. And we're talking about healing. We're talking about restoration. We're talking about abundance. We're talking about what we call life. Often people say life is too short, so you ought to take advantage of it. I take a different perspective. Life is long and prosperous. Why not get involved in it? Life is long and prosperous. Why not get involved in it? But understand, listen, my thing is that in order for us to be able to get in this life and jump on this abundance, there must be an alignment. Mind, body, soul, spirit. And what happens oftentimes, Jody, is that we have some of those components down pat, but then the others we don't. And let me speak for myself. I'm one that had the spirit down pat, the mind down pat, but the health wasn't down pat. And so there came a time that I gained weight. There came a time that I was overweight. There came a time that I was not doing what I needed to do for the body. And if the body's not well, guess what? It will transfer over to the spirit, the soul, the essence of who you are. And so I had to make a decision. Is that I can't just speak it, but I got to be it. It was a challenge. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, woo, I had it all down pat. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. But I made a conscious decision that I had to align the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit so that I can be a part of this long and abundant life.
Because energy creates vitality, which creates longevity. Marcy talked about it when she said you can die young or you will grow old. It's one of the two. And gee, I wonder, who is that health coach that's been helping you? What's her name?
Ooh, listen, the #1 health coach in the United States and even abroad, Jody. She's right here with me. Listen, we met each other, and thank goodness for that app called Clubhouse.
Yes.
Without Clubhouse, it was the avenue, it was the way, it was the tunnel that we were able to meet in.
Yes.
And she saw something in me. I saw something in her. And guess what? Our lives came together for the better. My health coach right here, y'all. She looks good, don't she? Listen, I'm trying to look as good as you look. Look!
And I'm really, you took charge. I've got to say, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about weight loss. Of course I am, because we're coming up to 1 million pounds lost in my practice. So you can be one of 1 million. But Dion, I want to make this about you, because this is who you are and what people are going to experience from Danielle Davis, the one and only, the love of your mind, body, and spirit, the love man. I love you. And you said you took charge. And so what is your message that you're going to make people take charge as being a health changer? Because we've got things going on right now. I know that this was, since you talk about spirit, mind, and body, I know this was from above. When this was before the Delta variant came out, I said, I got to bring all these health people together, because I've always been known as a connector, and you and I just connected. But back to you, what is that piece that you're going to say, I'm going to bring it, because you always do. You just take it. You take charge, Dion. That's what I love about you. One of the many things. Tell us.
So in life, it's about decisions. It's about taking control of your life, living your life on purpose, living on your terms. What happens is what I found out is that we have a lot of dreamers. There's nothing wrong with a dream. We have a lot of wishers. There's nothing wrong with a wish. We got a whole lot of individuals that hope. There's nothing wrong with hope. But without making a decision to put in the action, to take back, reclaim your life, reclaim your time, reclaim your health, reclaim your relationships, without that application, all it is a dream. All it is a wish. All it is a hope. And so where those things have their place, without the application and without the decision, the mindset to say that, yes, I am worth living in abundance. I am worth being healthy. I am worth having a life that is peaceful. I got to make that decision. But without making that decision, guess what? You will continue to hope. You will continue to dream. And each year will be the same. What do we call that? A cycle. If you continue to do the same things the way you continue to do them with the same folk, thinking that you're going to get a different result, you are insane. You're crazy. But you have to do something different. You have to make a decision. You have to take hold of whose life? Your life. Your life.
And Dion, you were part of that Hope seminar. Every time I hear you speak, you give me chill bumps. Even in a warehouse, you brought it, my brother. So give us your best quote, and I'll let you get back to being what you do so well, is to serve. What is your favorite quote that just comes to your mind right now, please?
I often say this to individuals after I speak, after I counsel, after I just give options of life. I say, live life to the fullest. Live life to the fullest on purpose. That's it. And see, in that living life to the fullest, you'll be able to experience the abundance of life. You'll be able to experience the joy of life. Life will be wonderful. Listen, here it is. In the book, The Road Less Traveled, Dr. M. Scott Peck, what he says is that life is difficult. Now, after we done got through all of that, start living it. Start standing on it. Start taking your rightful place and being exactly who you are.
Oh, I lost you. Being who you are. That's the greatest ending whatsoever. Dion Davis, I love you, mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
I know it's going to be ripping, because guess what? Dion Davis just had us go off. It's now Dion R. Davis. Reclaim. Reclaim.
Reclaim. That's it. Reclaim your time, reclaim your life, reclaim your energy, reclaim your love, reclaim your peace of mind, baby. Reclaim it and live life to the fullest.
Much love, Dion. And
Love you much.
we'll chat soon. And you know what I say to my weight loss clients? I will say, next time I see you, I'll be seeing less of you.
That's it. That's it. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now. And if that wasn't enough, ladies and gentlemen, when you think about, we're going to be hearing about confidence, love, a plan for you, your life, to reclaim things. As Dr. Yasmin said, this plane is taking off. Each of these degreed people are going to have their propeller take off. But I have a special guest that I've invited every single time. Today, on the 18th, when we will be hearing from Dr. Mark Chavez, ER specialist, MD extraordinaire. We're going to be hearing from Moyar Lavelle, who's a functional medical healer, and also Tamra Barber, who works with teen empowerment. Those are our guests next week. But this young lady, who is just at my heart, this kind of person. You see, the Kenyan Kids Orphanage, when COVID happened, they had nothing. And people that come in and they just are change agents. That's what Brooke Sherfield did with our Kenya kids. And I've asked her to come on board to share a little bit. And I think you're muted too, Brooke. So just go ahead and unmute your line there to say what, if nothing else, the $49, y'all, just go ahead and get a ticket, because the majority of the proceeds are going back to the Kenya kids. It is back4kids.com. But I want to honor you, Brooke, that you took on this project not knowing how long they were going to need this money. And with a few of us, have hit our goal every single month. And I want to honor you to just being one of those heroes in my life, a shero, that I only thought, if I would have been half as good as Brooke at her age, where would I be now at 67? Brooke, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moment.
Thank you so much, Jody. And to be honest, I'm really just striving to be more like you. You are someone that I look up to, and you have health changers written on the screen behind you, but it's not just health changers, it's world changers. But what I wanted to come on here to do is to share a little bit about our kids. And like you said, with this event coming up on the 28th, I'm so thankful for you and the organizers who put this together, because this is directly going to help the Kenya kids with their food, with their supplies, with all that. And as you see beside my name, back4kids.com. And you can go ahead and put that in the chat too. Yes. If people go to the back4kids.com, they can go on there. They can read all about the orphanage school. They can read about Dr. Abuga, who is feet on the ground over there helping the kids. And then on the front page, they can also scroll down, see a flyer of you, and then all the speakers that are going to be speaking on the 28th. That is hyperlinked. You can click that. It goes straight to the Eventbrite. You can read about the event on the 28th, and then also purchase your tickets. And just like you said, the proceeds go toward helping the kids. So I'm just extremely grateful for that. But just a little bit about the orphanage school. So it's called the Abuga Memorial Orphanage School, and it's in the Kisii, Kenya area. And it's led by Dr. Abuga, who has his doctorate degree in pharmacy. And his father, he was a tribal chief and left him some land over there. So in 2001, Dr. Abuga, he decided to open up this orphanage school. Back in 2001, it started with 20 kids. It rose all the way up to 375 kids that they were taking care of at one time. And it's not just the general subjects that they teach here at the school. It's also business principles. I know that they study a lot of Think and Grow Rich, personal development. And guys, I just want to let you know that people like Jody, they've been giving, they've been donating, and you've provided this platform now so others can help fully fund these kids, guys. And It's the food, it's clean water, clothes, school supplies, safety. We've done things like help build a wall around the orphanage school to ensure the safety, working on projects like planting banana trees so they can help have their own money, putting in more water tanks so they can have more clean water. So there's all sorts of things going on with the back-to-back-for-kids.com and the projects that are up and coming. So Jody, I just want to thank all these amazing speakers. The lineup is very exciting. Just hearing the people speak today and then listening to your lives, introducing the speakers for the 28th. I'm just very excited. And you guys that are listening to this should be excited too. So go to back-to-back-for-kids.com, click on that flyer that you see with Jody's beautiful face on it. It'll take you directly to the link for the 28th, and then you attending can help support these kids too. So Jody, thanks for bringing me on and letting me share this information.
Well, and I'm just thinking, I believe that you, if I'm not mistaken, you and I, when we came together with the first Hope Seminar in May, the end result was that wall went up for those Kenya kids now, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So who knows how many banana trees we're going to get out. So do you have a favorite quote, since you're such a Think and Grow Rich aficionado, and you and your husband Tevis, I just love you both. So what quote would you like to end your segment with, Brooke?
So I do have a favorite quote, and I actually ran across it probably a couple weeks ago. It's not a Think and Grow Rich quote, but I have it now on my Instagram, so I'll read it. It says, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. So I thought that was just profound. And I think with that quote, just investing in yourself, like you're doing here, providing for other people, just investing in yourself can allow us to be free.
To be free, be you. Much love to both you and Tevis. I love you with my whole heart. You're like my younger daughter if I had one. Ciao for now. So life's milkshake moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to bring this together. I've got a quote, my own quote from the incomparable Les Brown, and it is necessary for you to accept responsibility for your life. No one else, and no, it is you that will get you where you want to go. So is it your spiritual pillar? Is it your physical pillar? Mental, emotional, social, financial, as Monika talked about. No, it is you who will get you where you want to go. No one else. Just for that, and knowing that we're giving back on the 28th, please share this podcast with your friends and know that life's milkshake moment, wherever life's twists and turns, it will give you confidence. It will give you love. It will give you nuggets. It will give you absolute tenacity and healing. But if it gives you like being hit by a truck, if it gives you COVID, if it gives you trauma, if it gives you something like the C word with Marcy's husband, just know with all things, life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. See you next Wednesday with Dr. Mark Chavez, ER MD, Tamara Barber, Teenage Empowerment, and Dr. Moriar Lavelle, Functional Medical Healer. Until next Wednesday, be the change that you want to see in the world. Ciao for now.